Hey guys, welcome to week 5 of building the biggest Separatist Dreadnaught ever to be seen in the LEGO space. This thing's gonna have a full interior and it's gonna be the biggest one ever made. So let's get into this week, starting off with our trip to the LEGO store because we definitely need some more parts. But the one part we need in particular is this 4x6 right here in dark bluish gray. I need a lot more of them because I gotta play out this section, I gotta play out here, I gotta play out the whole bottom level right here. So we need a lot of these plates. So we're gonna head to the LEGO store and hopefully we have some there. We made it. And unfortunately, they had nothing I was looking for. So my only choice was to go to another LEGO store. So I went to Gurney Mills. So when I got there, thank goodness they had the 4x6 brick that I was looking for and a few other parts. So I filled it up all the way to the brim, stacked up everything because, you know, gotta make the most money out of this trip, right? I mean, we paid $10 in tolls to get here, guys. So, yeah. By the way, if you want to help me recoup some of these costs from these tolls, please subscribe down below. I mean, anything helps. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just subscribe to the channel down below. I really would appreciate it. So now that we're back from the LEGO store, we can get building at last. Let's take a look at what we got. So these are the two bins that we packed. We got a whole bin right here full 4x6s, and then we also got a whole bunch of these bigger plates as well. A few tree parts that I kind of switched in there. And then on top of it, underneath here, we got even more 4x6s and a whole bunch of these parts. But I gotta take these out more carefully, otherwise they're gonna spill all over the floor. Guys, I'm 2 seconds into unpacking, and we always put it on the floor. Bruh. Also, I just want to show this off real quick. Look at the method I used. So I made a whole bunch of rows of these, and they're filled up with a bunch of these little tile bricks, and they're just all coming out now, and it's kind of like cool. I also used these window pieces that I got to hold them as well. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of these, and they're all kind of like nicely organized by their color because they're inside these little canisters. I probably could have filled these up a bit more, but I really had to get out of the LEGO store. I was spending way too long there. So I got to sorting immediately because that would be bad if anything got like separated and, you know, they weren't organized. That would be bad because I always have a bin full of parts that's overflowing. But we have it all sorted now. Everything looks good. We got a whole bunch of these, and I did a really smart thing here. I put 1x5s in between these plates, so that way it's a lot easier to just take them off instead of having them stacked right on top of each other. So was very efficient about the part choices there. Same thing with this here, although I probably should have put another part in there, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of these now, so now we can get building. Also, I got way too many of these. Oh my goodness. Wow. So looking at the build this week, I don't have as much time to build this week because I'm going on vacation, but I do want to get some progress done. So we're going to try to work on this back section some more and getting this support installed. We've been saying that for a few weeks, but I'm hoping we can actually do it this time. However, there is one problem, so I do need to order a bunch of these, but longer, because I want to have beams that go from the bottom plate all the way to the top plate, which is going to be like up there. And I don't have a lot of those, but we need a lot of these to connect these two sections together. We can't have technic beams because that's going to mess up the bottom of the ship, because smooth versus a rock hard surface means we have to add an extra plate underneath here. So that's a bit of a problem, but hopefully we can still make the back section somewhat whole so that we can get rid of this temporary support, because I'm really tired of seeing it. So for the first part of this, I decided to work on connecting the top and lower level because I don't want there to be any shear force, which means basically a collapse of having the top level fall on the bottom level, and that would be bad. So that's what we did first, is we connected the two levels to each other to make sure there was no shear force whatsoever. And we did this by connecting it at 3 central points. We got 1, 2, 3 on each side, and that's great because we got vertical shear, which is being prevented, and then we got horizontal shear with these ones as well. Well, I gotta like that in a bit more, obviously. But the point is, we've calculated for all points of shear, which is great because we would hate for this thing to collapse in on itself like the Venator did at Brickwork Chicago 2023.
It couldn't be worse.
Bro, the whole bottom level is gone.
Why is that?
It caved in.
Why?
Because I packed it badly in the car when I was originally packing it in, and then I kind of struggled, and it broke in my hands. And
oh no.
Yeah, let's just say I wish I built that frame out of Technic instead of bricks. So our next step is to now add on the rest of the back section again for what, like the 20th time, because now we're going to add it so that there is a circular hole in the center of this to lift ships up and down in between the two hangars that are going to be on this ship. Guys, the hole is looking good. We can actually fit shuttles just barely down here. I mean, obviously you won't be able to go down all the way because this is way too tall for the lower hangar, but I mean, just the fact that we're gonna be able to fit like tri-droids possibly, and vulture droids that are like from 2005. Makes me so happy. Now, there's a few things we need to discuss before continuing. So, over here, we gotta have like 4 connections of support, I think, in between each one of these levels, which is why I'm extending out these Technic beams right here so that each one of these can leave a little extension space, since right here it's nothing but brick. And to make this really strong, I want to be able to add Technic supports in between these things. So to do this, we started off by basically taking apart the back tail support beam that I made a while back, because we needed to make some major changes to the inside of it, since the back end is a little bit lower than I thought it would be. So we started to take that apart and we put it back together in its proper form. This took a while because I had to do a lot of testing to make sure we got the Technic beam just about right in the ways of height. And then here is that final result. I'm very happy with how this is coming along. Now, this is not planned out a lot as of yet. We still have a lot more work to do with it, because what we're going to have underneath here is a whole system of Technic beams in place that are underneath it to add another layer of support, because this right here, I hate to break to you, is very flimsy despite them being 16 by 16 plates. This is not strong whatsoever. So we're going to add a whole layer of these Technic beams, etc., all to the bottom, so that we can have more panels like this underneath the ship like we have over here currently. So we're going to be doing that same method over here as well, just at lower heights, because obviously this is a lower section of the ship. And then on top of that, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing yet, but we may also run a layer of these Technic beams, etc., across here as well, just to make it even stronger, because honestly, this is a major heavy section of the ship, and I feel like it might need 3 layers of support. I mean, heck, you can always see that these bricks are sagging as we speak because there's not enough support right here. I knew this was going to happen, but I also know I don't have enough of these pieces and enough Technic pieces in general to continue this. I mean, heck, we ran out of blue 1x3s. We're only left with the tan ones, which honestly are not as strong. So, yeah. Which is the exact reason why we can't get rid of this support beam as of yet, because you see, all the tension in the ship is right here at the point where it's supposed to split in half, where it still can't, because you just pull off this knob and pull out this thing and they'll split apart like cheesecake. But instead, what we did was we transferred the load from this point right here all the way to over here, which is why this temporary support is here. But once I'm able to transfer the load that's going on right here all the way down here, then we'll be able to take this out and remove it. However, until we get more Technic parts in the mail, that's not going to happen. But what I'm glad about is that this is a start of finally connecting this beam onto the ship in some way. Thank goodness we finally got that done. I've been wanting to do this for weeks on end, but now it's finally attached. So that's absolutely great. The rest of the progress this week, I do want to do one more thing before I leave on vacation. Just fix this hangar bay. Right now it looks absolutely terrible. These pieces have gone to absolute shreds, and I kind of want to rebuild it just for the end out of this segment, because honestly, I'm so excited to add a lift in next week, and I think this will be helpful in that effort. So I started to reassemble the official pieces of the design. It wasn't too hard to rebuild because most of the pieces were together as they were before, so that was really good. And then I also built this big circular piece right here, just as a little test prototype, just to play around with the idea of the circle going in and out down here for next week when we get those parts in to actually make this thing operational. Super happy about that. Then, on top of that, I also did something else for you guys. As you guys can see right here, I've officially attached the bottom part of these pieces to the ship, and you can see the cracks and where they separate for when the ship will eventually come apart, which is going to be absolutely insane. I can't wait to show you guys that. And you know what? I think I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to have the 2 parts separate, and I'm going to show you how it works. Oh, wow, this is so cool. Look at that, guys. And it's not breaking yet either. Alright. And boom. 2 halves are successfully detached. Editor Will here. That was my Separatist shell falling over on the ground. But the ship stayed intact completely, which was insane. But yeah, my Separatist shell fell on the ground. So that's a rip. But let's do that again real quick. That was so cool to see. Together, apart. So cool. And with that, we're going to wrap it up for this week on The Invisible Hand. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button down below if you want to see more next week, because we're going to be installing the lift that lowers vulture droids from the bottom level to the top level. I'm super excited about that. So I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out and goodbye.